So we are indeed approaching the end of the conference. I would like to offer some perspective about the next steps because, you know, this is a collective effort. Thanks, Xavier, for this political expectations statement. My role is very much to, again, provide a bit more practical insights into what's next. So I have a couple of slides, but I would be brief. Indeed, EIT as an institute for Europe. It has already been mentioned. For those that would like to know about the EIT and the knowledge triangle in general, yes, Budapest should become a knowledge base. And that's where we are placed, but of course we are working again with the KICs for Europe. This means some pillar agendas that we have developed. You can recognize these themes because these were the subjects, in fact, of the splinter meetings yesterday. Education, which is linked to the label of the programs, entrepreneurship, putting a spotlight on the game changers, and world-class innovation, because indeed the innovation coming out of the EIT should become world-class. If it would be locally successful, it's not for the EIT. It should be something else. But this is again work in progress. We have already commitments for some other agendas, which are very much crossing against these three. Which is linked to the emphasis on results, the monitoring, the simplification of our operations, and not the least important, dissemination, because again, we work for Europe overall. So I think you would be learning about this in the future. It is just to open your appetite, because we are working seriously, first on the monitoring, of course, simplification and dissemination. Again, we have pioneered with this good practice guide or emerging practices guide that would be made available after the conference. Well, the whole concept is, again, realizing a vision. And I am looking to my chairman and the founding board members. EIT as an entrepreneurial-driven impact investment institute. What does this mean? Indeed, there should be direct benefits with focus on people that would make a difference, but also indirect benefits, so that EIT indeed would deploy its potential to bring this knowledge and put it at work beyond the KICs themselves. So that we should open to some spaces to national governments whenever they want to know about the knowledge triangle again. So this is part of our institutional remit. So we would hopefully be realizing this in future conferences. And I think this slide now takes me to the voting that we have in mind asking you, because your feedback is important. Again, this is not just a unilateral view, it should be a collective undertaking. So your feedback is interesting for us, and the organizers, my team has put forward a number of questions, so I think you have to pick up these devices again, but these are very short questions. The results would not be published because we want to indeed take the time to analyze, so that we could liaise also not just the answers individually to each of the questions, but the setup of each of the individuals when we go through the questions, so that we get, the proper analysis after the conference. And of course, rest assured that together with this emerging practice guide, we would also make available these results, okay, the feedback. So I could invite you down, please take up your devices, and I guess we need some time. Maybe you can guide us. We have some seconds, or how does this work? Okay, so we have 100 votes for the time being. Or 125, 30. Okay, so it seems to be okay. We go to the next question then. I think we have been very happy to see people from outside Europe, in fact, which means something. So this is what we are trying precisely to capture in the perspective of future conferences. Good. Some 40 responses there. Now we move to the third one. What was your level of understanding of the EIT before? I hope that this would not contradict the first one, so that someone has came with a better understanding that. But please, we are also interested to, again, map the different communities because it may be clear for some, academicians, less for business. So we are interested to learn more about your feelings after the conference. This is a very sensitive one on the organization. We have a biased opinion, of course. We are very happy about the hosts. Please help us also build up a more objective opinion. There's only one remaining when we complete this one. So the 7th is very much about future prospects for conferences, because again, we want to link to the expectations. So please read this one carefully. Thank you very much. So again, we would provide the feedback together with the report from the conference. So there are 2 slides which I think are important for you, which are linked to the planning for the future KICs. Okay, so I hope nobody would be disappointed. It's about very much what we can present to the public. Of course, the board still has to deliberate on the internal preparations. So what we would be presenting is just these 2 slides that we can openly share with you. First is about what you would find in the triennial work program. If you visit our webpage, you have basically next year 2 important milestones. First, starting with a seminar on individual themes for the next wave of the KICs, and once this would be adopted by the Council and the Parliament. So, of course, at that point in time, would be go deeper into more issues of relevance in preparing for the future KICs. And then later in the year, a second encounter, meaning the selection criteria applicable to the next wave of KICs. Of course, that assumes that the board would have decided and everything would be ready. We want to also codify knowledge about the current KICs through some sort of guiding document, so that, again, future applicants would look at the learning, and this would become easier to understand and possibly translate into future applicants. So these are the 2 milestones for next year. Of course, these are to be read against the institutional background, which is the next and final slide, meaning the adoption of the financial perspectives. We are very much at this stage in the hands of Council and Parliament. So again, what the Commission said about support is very much of relevance here. And you have the likely sequence of events there, again, linked to the adoption of the financial perspectives, and then the launch of the KIC call, and then an info day, whereby we would be more detailed into answering questions of practical importance at that point in time. Then the proposers would submit proposals, evaluation, and finally designation by the new KICs through the governing board. Okay, so I think that this is very much what we can share with you. I thought it was important so that you would not leave the room thinking that just, it was just a nice conference, because this is a journey. Again, we promise you that at the beginning, and this is very much what we would like to entertain with you in the future. This is the end of the conference. Before we conclude, I would like to really offer a word of gratitude to our hosts, Susanna Borras in particular, Bo Bogeskov, Anne-Brigitte Edkurov, and my board members, because I see a lot of them still here, and they arrived in the beginning. The KICs have mobilized really their team, so I'm really thankful. And last but not least, my team in Budapest, led by Mathia, Barbara. A lot of people have contributed. So Thanks very much. And I would now invite you to take a bit of a pause because apart from the conference, we have prepared a sort of tutorial so that you can still squeeze the KIC CEOs today, put in your questions, everybody what you wanted to ask about the KICs and never dare to interrogate the KIC CEOs. So please be again with us. This is outside of a program, but I hope that you would still find some practical interest. And thank you for joining us.